Yeah. Hell yeah. Phoebe, how you going?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me tonight.
Thanks for coming. Did you find the place okay?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with. No, I'm actually not. Yeah, I did. It's a bit scary actually. You drive down this very dark, kind of long lane, and I was like, actually, how well do I know this guy?
You started having second thoughts.
Yeah.
Most people do. Yeah. It's bad enough that we ask just anyone to come on, let alone part of the journey. They're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But still, it's it's at Sumo, so it's not like it's out in the forest.
Didn't know this place existed, so I feel enlightened.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we never knew this top bit was here either.
I always feel bad for the Uber Eats drivers that have to come down here.
God, and they start to question as well. How well do they know you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Is this a prank call? Yeah, there's no one here that wants food.
Yeah.
Sweet track, by the way.
Hey, thanks.
Is that out yet?
Yeah, that's out. It's and truly out. Officially, it was out on Friday. Had distro problems. Was meant to be out Wednesday, but it's out into the world now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's wicked. What platforms?
All of the platforms.
All of the platforms.
All of them. Yep. Just pressed a few buttons that made them go everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
That's distribution now.
Yeah.
Like, what do distribution labels do now? They go, okay, we'll get it on Spotify, and you're like, I can do that myself.
They're like, we'll put it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow.
Is there a light in front of me, or is that an icon on the camera? That right under the record button.
I think it's an icon.
I couldn't tell if it was like a light.
It just says no photo.
Ah,
Should that be there?
yeah. Well, because it's on the Super HD.
Is that okay or bad?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We're
That's
not
fine?
taking two photos.
Okay,
I was moving. I'm looking at it like, why is there? It's like a light.
That's quite distracting. Actually.
Very professional, as you can see in the studio.
I'm going to sit here for the rest of the episode just staring at the camera.
Yeah.
What's the track about? What can't you take anymore?
Well, I had this instrumental actually on my hands for some time. Actually, ever since I started this project, a friend of mine called Daniel made it for me, and lots of my music is improvised. In terms of the writing, so I had the track, but didn't really have the proper melody or the lyrics that I really wanted to sing. So I would rock up to a show with the track and then kind of just improvise each time. It would be different every show, but the same theme kept coming up every time. And it was actually because I'd open most of my shows with this track, and I realized it was because a lot of the time at the shows I would be dealing with like kind of some like crappy like sound guys, just like they'll start help like talking down to me about my own gear and so say, love, I'll set that up, and it's like, okay, well, I can set it up, but then they set it up wrong and it doesn't work, and then in the sound check they're like getting mad at me about my own gear not working when they didn't set it up right, and then I'd start the show and I'd be like in this kind of like mood about the sound guy, or even like someone in the band before me. It's just been like, we'll start talking to my drummer like it's his like act, like he's Your Girl Pho. Oh man, what you got set up tonight? And he's like, man, I don't know, ask her. And they're like, oh yeah, it's just that like it's still that constant battle, and so I'd just be like start that song like, I can't take it, I can't. And then the whole I see you over there, like staring at the sound guy like, that's
I've heard that story a million times.
I bet.
And I've been in bands with girls, and it's the same shit. You don't know till you're in a band with a girl, when it's not even direct, it's just subtle. It's very subtle. And it's like, you sure, right? That goes, and they're like, yeah, I got it. I got it, man.
And I mean, most times I'll have a drink with the sound guy after the show, and he's like 9 times out of 10 a cool guy. And it's just like the initial, I think the stress of him trying to set you up and get the show underway, and it kind of he doesn't mean to come across that way. But sometimes I'm just ultra sensitive about it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
A lot of them mean well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, I'll always say, man, thank you. Like, you got my sound there eventually. It was cool.
Yeah. Eventually.
I mean, I could have gotten there straight away, but yeah, it's fine.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. We were talking about amps out the front. It's I love amps. I think Ian left, or he. I don't know.
That's
what happened.
A story that's. I don't know. It was a big thing because the original sound guy from Amplifier was kind of let go.
He was let go, yeah.
Right.
Kind of fired, but then people really didn't know what happened, and no one said anything what was happening.
Yeah. Because he's a sweetheart. I love Ian. Bit loud. Little bit loud in Amplifier sometimes.
Yeah.
Where you're like, there's a lot of top end. And it's like really grating on my eardrums, but still, it's still one of my favorite. Like, he cares about how you sound on stage. I'm not sure who's mixing there now. Do you know who was mixing when you were playing?
Oh, I couldn't tell you his name.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was Ian.
It's obviously someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still same loud. Very loud.
Very loud.
Yeah.
Very loud, very quiet. Early on in the evenings.
So that's the thing, like, I've actually never been... I mean, I love Amplifier. It's a great venue. It sounds good, but I've always never thought of, like, the top... I mean, it's won awards, like Wham Awards, like Best Live Venue in Perth and stuff.
Okay.
But I didn't have that.
Wasn't that like 5 years ago?
Maybe.
I don't know. We're old, basically. Everything that we say is like 5 years out of date.
Yeah, but back in those days, well, I mean, I used to enjoy metal gigs at Amplifier. We'd have circle pits running around that pole that's in the middle of the room. You know that one pole that's in the room there?
That's
You'd have circle pits running around that. That was fucking good times.
Yeah.
But no, I always thought like Rosemount was better than Amplifier personally.
It's not like when I'm going like, I'm going out tonight. It's definitely not on my radar.
No,
unfortunately,
not anymore.
No offense to amps, but it's just not. It's always like The Bird, or Home Alone, or Ezra Pound, somewhere where there's no music.
Yeah.
I really relish the places that just don't have music now.
Sit there in peace, like an old man.
Yeah. But I saw you down in Margaret River as well.
Yeah, I apologise.
Why?
That interview was horrendous.
No, it wasn't.
I was a little bit chucky.
Yeah, so was I. I was half cut when I hit record.
Good. I'm really glad. But it was a good chat. Like it was like chat. It's just clucky because like we're getting on so well, and I felt so comfortable to say anything. But I listened back to it. I was like, God, shut up.
Now you know how I feel about every one of these podcasts. I listen back and I'm like, no. My God. You get, I call it podcast anxiety or interview anxiety.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're done, but then a week later, when you're kind of not in that mindset, you're like, ooh, But it was fine. You didn't say anything bad.
Oh, I mean... There was the part where I said that my favourite person was my mum.
Yeah.
Man, that's not on. You don't do that. You don't choose a favourite parent on an interview.
That's true.
That could be heard by the parent. That's fucked.
Yeah, but that's what sprung to... That's what came into your mind at the time, and it was real. Yeah. I don't think it was like a grading system, like who you love most.
Yeah, but it felt like it was.
No. It's fine. Did you have fun?
Yeah, that was a party. It was freezing.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I met so many like awesome people, including Lucy Peach, who I was like, I've been a massive fan of hers, like after seeing her Fringe show and her live show, and she's just kind of been this like idol of mine. And then she was there and she kind of like came up from behind me and was like, "Great show, Phoebes," and I was like, "Hey, Lucy," and she goes, "Oh, hey," and I was like, "I love you." And then she was like, "Sorry," and I was like, "Nothing. How are you going?" and then we chatted for ages. At the time, unfortunately, I was smoking, and she goes, "Stop smoking. All right, it's not cool. Did anyone tell you it's not cool?" And I was like, I know. I'm not trying to be. She's like, "Look, you want to know why I look this good?" And I was like, "Why? How do you look?" And she's like, "Plenty of orgasms, no smoking, and plenty of water." And I was like, "You're a queen."
Yeah. Yeah. That's a recipe to really good skin.
Yeah. Man.
I've got one of them down pat. I drink a lot of water. But yeah,
no, it was a great night.
That's cool. It's weird when you meet someone that you really idolize.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a shame as well when they don't live up to the expectations either. And for example, I supported one of my favorite artists, Nairi, and I've actually just she was very like jet lagged when I met her, and she wasn't really up for a convo, and she was just quite like consumed by her phone. And like I still love her music, but it's not quite the same now. When I listen to it, I think I'm a little bitter. Like I just wanted to be your best friend, you know?
Yeah. So when you listen to her, you just have that image of her looking at the phone.
That's it.
She's great though.
Yeah,
she's supported some incredible, awesome acts.
Yeah, I've been very, very fortunate.
Post Malone.
Yeah.
You know Post Malone, Johnny? You know that rock star
I know the name. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's supported.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't know who he was when I got asked.
Get out.
Yeah, my manager puts me forward for everything, and then I'll get what I get. And Post Malone was one, and she calls me so excited. She's like, "You got the Post Malone support, Red Hill, sold out." And I'm like, "Cool. Who is that?" And she's like, "Are you serious?" So then I Googled him, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I think I know one of his songs." And then, but I was like excited just about the fact that it was Red Hill. But then I did some digging and realized he's got crazy fans around the world who are just like obsessive about him. Yeah. And after I did that show and I had posted an Instagram photo of he and I would get DMs like every day of people being like, "Can you please help me meet Post Malone?" Crazy fans. Like, "You have no idea, this is my dream. Like, if he could just come to my prom." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
He doesn't even know I really supported for him. He wasn't even there when I played.
That's crazy. He's huge though. He's those in that echelon of rappers getting 20, 30 million hits a song. That sort of thing. Crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
And he's actually just like, I met him and he's kind of like a hillbilly Texas dude. Like he got there and all he wanted to do was just like, he smoked a lot of weed, and then he was in the green room just playing like Motown, like dong da dong da dong da dong, and he's sitting there just like in his zone. He's got all these big bouncers like standing around him. I was just like dong da dong da dong da dong da dong dong dong. Doesn't care. Like he's
a really good guitar player.
Yeah,
he plays blues and that real swampy blues.
Absolutely,
it's really good.
Yeah. So I after not knowing who he was, I was like pretty like, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. How was the actual show for you?
It was wild. I really did black out due to nerves throughout. I don't really remember. I just watched footage after I got off stage, but I was so nervous looking out from behind the curtains. It was like packed already because a lot of people come down obviously to get that mosh spot before the shows even started, and so it was packed, and I wasn't allowed my band. I had to have a DJ because he uses a DJ, so it's that whole, and my God, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't like to do solo shows too much anymore because I really connect with my band and vibe off them. So when it was a solo DJ kind of vibe, I was like, so many things could go wrong that I'm not used to with just me on stage, and I felt so sick. And also had a really strange experience backstage with just meeting people from Universal Music who were kind of sussing me out. Like one guy was like, "Yeah, I'm from Universal Music. You sell yourself to me." And I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
All the sharks come out,
dude,
and it's so obvious.
Yeah,
it's blatantly obvious.
And he's like, "I'm making a music video for Post Malone. So if you want to be in it, do you want to be in it?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, if you're offering." He's like, "Yeah, right." And to the camera crew, he's like, "Hey guys, this is Phoebe. She's hell cool. Film her today, all right? Film her at a set." And they're like, "Hey Phoebe," and I was like, "Oh my God." They didn't film a single thing of me.
No, of course. That's always the story. It's all talk. It's all posturing.
Yeah.
It's all just dudes like just beating each other off.
It was, man. They were just like going ham at it. And I was like, and he's like, talking about how he lives in Sydney. And my DJ's like, oh, I live in Sydney, man. Like, where? And the guy goes, what suburb do you live in? And he tells him, and he goes, wrong answer. Anyway, back to me, like completely just pushed him aside. And I was like, wow. So I was feeling really like out of place there. I felt really quite, it was just a surreal world. But once I was on stage, like I do remember parts and like I saw some familiar faces in the audience that I knew, and that just like put me back, and I was like, yeah, you got this, it's cool. And they loved it. Like they were just such supportive audience members. Like anything I would do, they're like, wow.
Yeah, so that's wicked.
Yeah.
Imagine the amount of overheads you would save just having a DJ.
Oh, I know, man.
That's like the dream. I should throw my drum kit away.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Man, yeah.
You just tour the world and like everything's on a laptop or on the decks.
Or USB.
You know? Yeah, literally USB, yeah.
What was it? I worked at, I think it was Park Life 1 year down at Wellington Square. This was like 2007 or 8 or something. And because I used to work at the festivals doing like the changeovers for bands and that.
Oh, awesome.
So, you roll amplifiers off, drum kits off, and the next one's
huge job.
And we ended up doing one changeover and we had to pull this whole set off, and the one to bring back on was just a DJ table. And we had like 6 people standing there, and it's just like, okay. So we just roll it out, and then, okay, what do we do for like the next 15 minutes? Just chill out.
Just play with the chords a bit.
Yeah. Like, here's your output. That's it.
Yeah.
Just plug it in.
Magic output.
Just plug it in. Don't trip over it, because that fucks everything up. I would love that. That's my fantasy. If I ever get into do my next musical thing, it'll just be like a laptop.
But that's what I think, when you if you're running like DJs and you've got all this sort of computer technology and stuff running, and something does go wrong, like the power goes out, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're playing with a band and you've got guitars and bass, like, if a guitar cuts out, you got the rest of the band to sort of fill it in. It happens all the time. Like, until something go wrong, and the rest of the band can still keep going.
God. Yeah. And it's also like, it is like very true. Like, it is all dependent on your equipment, but it's also your mindset. Once one thing isn't working in your equipment, it fucks you for the rest of the show, because your confidence is like, well, if that goes wrong, and that could go wrong, and this could go wrong, everything is screwed. Like, I played a festival in May in Mexico, and my vocalizer that I used to loop, I didn't have the Mexican, the adapter. Yeah. I used my Australian one with a crappy Australian thing put into a Mexican converter with like sticky tape wrapping it around because it was broken. And so like this comes the big moment, the big festival I've been waiting for my whole life. I like plug it in, no power comes through. I'm like, oh my god! And the sound sort of stage crew speak very little English. And he's just looking at me like, okay? I'm like, I'm like, just, do you have more tape? More tape. We need more tape. We're like running around looking for tape. I end up just being like, okay, I know that it takes this input. So I'm running around like the stage things you're talking about, how you just reel them on and off. There was one there set up for like the next band, which is like, who did we play with? Oh my gosh. The two French dudes, sorry. Can you help?
French dudes?
2 French dudes, electronic music.
Daft Punk?
No.
Loud, bloody beetroots. No.
Oh my god, what are they called?
2
seconds. Let me just figure.
We have to get this because
it's so important.
I know.
What did I Google? 2 French dudes? No, I better not Google that one.
No, please do.
Oh my god. Hang on, baby.
2 French dudes. Man, that's like a lot.
Oh, come on. 2 French dudes and a slut.
Okay.
Why did I Google that?
Man, you were asking for it. You were fucking asking for it.
Idiot.
Pornhub.com.
Justice.
Damn it.
Yeah. Justice.
Do you know Justice?
Of course. That's Ben Smith's favourite
It is not.
It is. So we played Justice to open the last episode. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so
awesome.
we shared a stage with them.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I think it was theirs. I like saw this stage set up and I was like, fuck. And I saw the SPD pad was plugged in with the power cord I fucking needed. So I just was like, and I ran back and I was like, it's all good. And but yeah, without it, I could have done a show without a looper. Like, anyone can sing without a looper, you know, but that mindset of like, the show will not go on.
Yeah.
But
it feels like you're going into a gladiator battle and you're injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, I can probably pull it off, but I'm kind of fucked, you know. But funny, yeah, man, those SPD adapters, those big chunky Rollins adapters, I don't know how many volts they are.
Yeah.
But it seems like you can only order the same one from Rollins for some reason, even though it should be generic.
A ridiculous amount of money.
I know, it's like $200 for an AC adapter.
Yep.
But man, SPDs, I run them, like my last 2 bands I've used them. And I had the old version, so like every now and again, if the playback's really loud, it would trigger a pad without you hitting it.
Like the sound waves.
Yeah, just because of the rumble. Yeah, the rumble of the actual fallback would resonate and trigger a pad.
Oh no!
So the amount of times I've been like up on stage, it's nice and quiet, and then like someone will play a bass line and it just like fire a sample up. It's so fucked, man.
There must be settings for that.
You can reduce the sensitivity. Yeah, but every now and again it'll just happen. Like an anomaly. You can't prepare for that shit.
That is some like ghost shit. You can just be like hands up in the air and it happens. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you haven't had any major fuck ups on stage though, have you?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
My laptop was too full of selfies or something, who knows, and it crashed because I had no room left to run Ableton, so it just couldn't process and so I was mid show, and you know what happens when like your CPU is like battling it, the bass line in the song just was like and I thought maybe it was my fallback, you know, that classic, like, look at the sound, go like, what's going on, man? My fallback's broken, my bass is not coming through. And then I looked at someone in the audience, they were like, oh god, and you're like, oh shit. Ooh. And so I had to go kind of like, okay, like stop the music, because you can't go on when it's like like the whole song. So I stopped, like, sorry guys, just 2 seconds, and I like leant down to my laptop and I just was like and
Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, literally like delete trash, delete everything I can find. Like I deleted Word document, like everything you need. Like iMovie, I was like deleting everything. Nothing was making enough room. So I ended up being like to the sound guy, do you have a laptop? Yes. Okay, can I do you have a USB? Yes. All right, let's transfer all my set onto your laptop and just play it off iTunes. Yeah. That took like maybe 5-10 minutes, and the audience were just like lost interest, obviously. I mean, fair enough. Yeah. And it was the worst.
I hate those.
Yeah. You technology, you're right. If it was a guitar player and just like a bass player, I'd be right.
Yeah,
mind you, I've seen actual instruments ruin shows as well. Like if someone breaks a guitar string and they don't have spare strings.
Right.
I've seen gigs where people stop the show because they're trying to run around and find a spare guitar because they don't have strings. Well, after a while, you're like, oh, yeah, technicals, yeah, this is getting shit. I'm going to go to the bar.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it takes.
But you can at least blame that on the person. You'd be like, come on, break some strings.
Yeah.
But you can't, like, when technology fucks up, it's just, that's it.
Yeah. God.
That's it. Unless you're, like, really rich.
You can fucking blame Steve Jobs.
Yeah. Steve, mate. He was not thinking of us.
Oh, poor Steve.
Oh, rest in peace.
Some of them, they run parallel computers. So,
of course,
if one dies, it just switches to the next one.
But like, how rich you got to be to have 2 fucking computers?
Well, you just got to get two computers. Yeah, true.
That's come on.
Pretty rich.
A Mac alone is like $2,000.
I know.
No, probably more.
Probably more.
Yeah. But sorry,
I
just yelled into the microphone. Apple, go Apple. Like, I'm not paid by Apple to tell you this. Go Apple every time. Do you? I mean, I'm sorry, but what is this?
It works.
It works. It does what it needs to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's probably not let you down at a live show, but
I wouldn't use it at a live show. I'm not that stupid.
No. But I had a Mac once. It was about a week old, and my friend sat on it on my bed. It was sitting on my bed with the screen open. My friend sat on it, and the screen warped to its bum shape, and so I'm like, crap, man, this is like a week old brand new MacBook Pro. So I take it into Apple, and I'm just like Mary, I come in, I'm like, hello, I got this laptop, and I just noticed that when you close the lid, it's like a funny shape. Is that a new design? And he's like, no, that's a massive amount. Like, that should never have left the factory like that. Just a moment, please. Comes out with a brand new Mac laptop. And he's like, let's transfer all your old stuff. And I was like, no. I was like, do I have to pay for it? He's like, no, that's our fault. That should never have left the... I was like, oh, my God. I was like, what's going to happen to this one? Like, it works fine. He's like, well, that will go in the bin. I was like... I felt so bad. I was like, no, don't waste it. Yeah.
So Apple does with their computer stuff that, like, food shops do with their food. When it's like a week old, they just throw it out. Oh, laptops. It's a bit possible. We're going to throw it out.
Literally.
Well, they don't want to run the risk of, like, faulty shit, like, being inserted back into circulation, so they ship it off.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good on Apple.
But I still use PCs, man. I'm still on a PC at home.
Oh, no.
I can't afford anything else. Oh. Yeah. It's okay. It does the job.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, I really don't want to get into the whole Apple versus PC argument because...
Well, there is no argument.
It's like using a Fender and a Gibson. They both do the same thing. They just have a different way of doing it.
No, you're right.
It depends what you need. Yeah. But I'm glad we've moved over to the Zoom.
Old school.
Sponsor? No. It just works. Like, if something... It can't fuck up. It can run on a couple of batteries, you know, if you want to go remote, like I did at Margaret River. Walked around with that.
Is that, yeah. I mean, that looks like you could hit it with a hammer and it would be chill.
Yeah. Super portable.
Yeah.
I'm so glad, because we used to run shit. It was Russian roulette every podcast for about 100 episodes. We were running it off a laptop, an old laptop. And it would just, like, blue screen and crash.
No, and you'd lose the whole thing.
Yeah. And well, it's happened only twice, thankfully.
Yeah.
But we salvaged the last one with Rob. Remember that?
Yeah, we salvaged a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a few dark times back then.
You guys are living large now. Look at you.
I know. Yeah. But I want to plug your dates really quick.
Yeah, please.
It's not over, don't worry. What are we? Oh, 26. That was nothing. Time flies, man.
Yeah.
This whole week's gone by really fast. I want to go over your dates because they're wicked. So they're all in August and September. So Friday, August 24th at Settlers Tavern in Margaret River. The 25th at The Prince in Bunbury. Is Mitch still there? Do you know Mitch?
I don't know.
You might get pizza after the show.
As in, is he a bar manager or a sound guy?
He manages The Prince, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yes, actually, it is Mitch.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
I remember... I should say I don't remember a lot of gigs there. Oh my goodness. We just...
I think last time I was at the Prince Scalp Hunter were playing.
Oh, sick. That would have been sick.
Oh, they, like, the singer from Scalp Hunter, like, this is like a punk, like hard rock punk band.
Yeah.
And the singer is like this big sort of burly guy.
Awesome.
And he likes to, like, jump on tables and... like jump on people's laps, and he was just like running around the Prince just with his shirt off, sweaty big man just screaming. It was fucking intense.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Scavenger awesome. It's a lot of motorcycle vests.
Yes,
At the Bird, my favourite venue.
Yeah, same.
29th of August.
Yeah, and I did it on a Wednesday night. I had the opportunity to do Friday, I think, or a Saturday.
Yeah.
But I just feel Wednesdays are like the busiest now.
Wednesday, Thursdays are lit at the Bird.
I don't know if it's the whole like student night thing or what, but it's just like always packed and always a great vibe.
Totally.
I think because everyone gets their Centrelink paid on Wednesday.
Oh my God, you're onto something, man.
Hey man, that fried chicken. Have you had the fried chicken sandwich at the Bird?
I haven't.
Are you a vegetarian?
No.
Try it.
Yeah?
It's fucking so good.
Okay, I've had the fries. They're
shaker fries.
Oh, shaker
fucking
fries.
good, man.
Oh
shaker
my
fries
God.
good.
I've eaten the whole one to myself.
No shame in that.
I know. That's a lot of carbs. Then you go off to Sydney on the 1st of September. Mm-hmm. Golden Age Cinema.
Yeah, it's a really cool like underground like jazz dive bar kind of vibe. Yeah. Like I feel like you're in New York. It's so, and like it's all like maroon kind of velvet carpet like floor and curtains, and then these really low dive couches thing.
Which part of Sydney is that?
Surrey Hills.
That's down the Woolloomooloo side, King's Cross area, isn't it?
Possibly.
I think so.
Yeah.
Remember when we went to Sydney, we stayed in that area
King's something.
No, not King's Cross. Well, King's Cross was there, but Surrey Hills.
So bad. Sorry.
Surrey Hills was around from Woolloomooloo area, so that
Yeah.
Right. I just remember bouncers on that red light district.
Yeah. Well, let's not go into that.
And then,
what happens in Sydney stays in Sydney.
I bet, man. Oh my god.
I'm like really.
I may or may not have purchased a pair of shoes for a stripper, but leave it at
my
Sydney.
god. I mean, was she a shoeless stripper, or just she just thought she might?
No, you were just in love with her. That's what happened when you have.
I was drunk and lonely in Sydney.
When you put 10 whiskies in this guy, he just blacks out. He doesn't know what he's doing. Sunday, the 2nd of September, at the Gasso upstairs.
Gasso.
Is that the Gasometer?
Yeah.
In Melbourne? Fuck yeah, go Melbourne.
Yeah.
Very high pollen count. I'm still reeling from my Melbourne trip.
What?
I'm all itchy and fucked up. Melbourne has a lot of allergens, man.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's just a city.
I know, but there's just a lot of pollen there.
Wild.
I think pollen just assholes, and they all live in Melbourne.
And they come for you, man.
It's so bad there. Then you go off to Singapore. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
For Music Matters.
Yeah.
And it's like a 3-4 day thing?
Yeah, it goes from like Friday or Saturday through to Wednesday at Clark Quay, which I've never been, but apparently it's
amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. I'm really excited. Like I don't even know what to expect. To be honest, I had to send through before like the official acceptance, I had to send through every lyric of every song, and like I think they do police checks on you and all your band members, and my manager's like, anything on Instagram like drug related party reference, delete it, get rid of all of it, like swearing, they're gnarly about it. So my songs all have like swear words in them, not like a lot. They're just like I'll have the odd like fuck or shit in there. So then I'm writing the lyrics and like having to find a replacement, like leave that stuff there, and like my freaking kneecaps. So then I'm like, freaking can be offensive to some people. So I'm like, bloody kneecaps? No. Like, like what?
Yeah. That's the sad thing about Singapore. It's like beautiful, but then underneath you have this like police state where it's like, I don't know, the whole of Southeast Asia is really, in my opinion, really backward with their drug policy.
Right.
They'll murder you. They'll murder you for a bag of weed.
I've never been more terrified flying into Kuala Lumpur when you get that customs card, like the green one you fill out and says drug trafficking will be punishable by death.
Punishable by death.
And you're on this plane, you're on a thing flying straight towards the country, like, I mean, you're like, you've done nothing wrong, but like...
You question, though. You're like, maybe from last weekend in my pocket, I still have that one... No.
Yeah, that little nug of weed.
But there was that whole... I mean, so I was paranoid because back then I had, like, dreadlocks down to my knees.
Amazing.
And I looked like the kind of person that would have a bag of weed on me. And this is the times when people working at airports were getting in trouble for putting shit in other people's bags. Like people that work there doing it. And, who would look like a schmuck to carry weed to Singapore? The guy with dreadlocks.
God.
So I'm sitting on this plane reading this punishable by death. I'm just like, okay, I've done nothing wrong, but this is fucking scary.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
If there's, the old saying, where there's dreadlocks, there's trouble.
Well, it was even worse.
That's not a saying.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but that was flying from Perth to Kuala Lumpur. It's when I flew from Amsterdam to fucking Malaysia.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, where was I going? I was in Abu Dhabi airport, I think from Europe, and I had my vocalizer with me. I was trying to play shows in Europe, and got to Abu Dhabi airport, and they were freaking out by this thing. They were like, "What is that?" I was like, "It's a vocalizer," and they're like, "Power it up." Like, I was like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, what do you expect? So I power it up and I have to like show them, and they're just like looking at it all confused. And then my passport, unfortunately, my photo, I have blue hair. So, dreadlocks, blue hair.
Well, yeah, my passport's got dreadlocks in it as well, and I get stopped every time at customs. And please step aside, go over there.
Man, does the photo thing not work for you either? Every time. Man, it sucks. And they're like, oh, Lady Gaga. And I'm like, are you serious?
Especially if you travel alone. They're going to pick on you if you travel alone. I think, definitely. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, police state, Singapore. No, you're going to have fun. Really good food. Really good food. Try the food. Do you like Chinese food?
Yeah, love.
Do you like Asian food?
Love.
What's your go-to?
Gosh, where do I go? There's this really cute little tiny place in Scarborough called Asian Fusion.
Yeah, cool.
And that's great. And
what do you order though? What do you like ordering?
Like chili beef.
All right, cool.
Sesame chicken.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty basic, isn't it?
It's pretty basic because what you're going to run into in Singapore is more of a Southeast Asian sort of thing.
Awesome.
So
like
try
sautés or something. Or?
Yeah, a lot of that, a lot of curry, a lot of chicken rice is the go-to there.
Great.
That's like a staple. That's like the meat pie of Asia.
Oh, cool.
Of that area, not of Asia.
Put really well.
Area. Yeah. It's like steamed chicken with garlic infused like chicken stock rice. And then a lot of like this is really zesty lemon chili that you pair it with. It's amazing.
Amazing.
And it's like they purposely cook the chicken to be quite bland so that you can put your condiments on it.
Yeah.
So everyone does it in their own way. This is the beauty of chicken rice.
What do you put on yours?
Well, you get a selection of soy and the chili.
Oh, of course.
But like everyone has their own ratio and everyone has their own way of eating it, just like a meat pie.
Yeah.
Some people like pick at the side. Some people peel the top off. Some people squeeze it and then like let it run down their face. I don't know, but you know. So
Which I really want to digress for a second.
Sure, go for it.
Do you know what airline you're flying to Malaysia on?
I haven't booked flights yet.
Okay.
Any recommendations?
Do not fly Malaysia Airlines.
Okay.
Please. Yes.
Really?
You'll go missing.
Oh, fuck. So true, man.
That was only one flight.
That was one time, man.
Twice, actually. Twice. Remember? Both MH17 and MH70. Two Malaysia Airlines went missing.
You're right.
Because it was actually in the cover of the paper the other day that the Malaysia Airlines was a MH370, the first one that went missing.
Yeah.
They came out now saying that it was deliberate.
Yeah.
I knew that a fucking like,
yeah, we were saying that from like the second day.
It's been confirmed now though. Wow.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm doing that. That's not.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
You can fly Tiger. Have you Scoot Airlines?
Scoot
is cheap. It's cheap. It's good.
I haven't heard of Scoot.
It's cheap. It's good, huh? It's good. Cheap,
it's good, that.
Yeah, you like, huh?
Well, I mean,
cheap. Yeah.
I do Jetstar for my Australian tour because you can pay afterpay.
That's right, man. You can afterpay
it's
a tour.
So dangerous, man.
You can afterpay a flight,
a tour.
Yeah, but I'm paying $200 a fortnight to cover. Well, no, $190 a fortnight to pay for, and then we'll pay for my tour flights eventually.
So instead of like a big hit to your bank account, you can chip away at it.
I was actually saying because I recently went to Italy for a month.
Oh,
and I was saying to my partner, like, how come you always have to you have to pay for your flight beforehand? You can never sort of like pay afterwards, or you can't sort of like pay installments for a flight. Yeah. And then what? Apparently you can now?
It's here now?
Yeah.
Just Jetstar though.
Yeah. It's through Afterpay. Not every company will be compatible with Afterpay, but a lot are. Yeah.
I just remembered what I was going to say before as well.
Here we go.
So you were saying before about how you took your one of your devices to the airport and they wanted you to turn it on and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Have you noticed now, especially when you fly to the US, where you now have to, if you have to prove, if you have a mobile phone, you have to turn it on. You have to prove that it works.
Really?
Yeah. And have you noticed now, if you're on flights, you can have your phone on the whole time rather than actually, you always get told turn your mobile phones off.
Yeah.
Now you can have them on the whole. They have fucking Wi-Fi on the planes now.
On flight Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's wild. And I kind of hate that.
But it's like everything's changing. It's like flipping over. It's like saying, all those years we told you not to use a mobile phone. Yeah,
we were wrong. Yeah. Or we got a new technology now that if your phone blows up, we'll be right. Like, I don't know, what is it? And I know they're still not allowed that kind of phone. Is it Samsung or something that does actually blow
Galaxy
up?
Note or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they explode, apparently. Yeah.
But that's the thing, if you got an airport, what if your battery is really flat or your phone dies? And it's like, we need you to turn your phone on. I can't.
Yeah.
Hop out and charge it, mate, and then we'll have a look at it.
Into customs. That's wild.
I think they want to see the software that you're running. No, it's true. A lot of hacked, jailbroken phones.
That's not the most updated iOS, ma'am. Come with me, please.
Hop onto our Wi-Fi and you can download the update. It'll be 2 gigabytes. It'll take you 4 hours.
Okay.
I remember I went through Dubai airport and the carry bag that I had, had an iPad in it, my phone in it, a digital camera in it, a USB, like a power block, power brick thing in it, multiple adapters, all this electronic stuff was just stuffed into this bag. And for the first time, going through Dubai to Italy, it was fine. But coming out, they just stopped me.
Yeah.
It's like, we need you to unpack everything.
Yep.
So you back through, take it all out, run it through. Okay. I actually had to do it twice because I didn't think I took it all out properly. And then eventually put it all back in again.
And was this the no dreadlock time of your life as well?
Yeah, no, this was just like a couple of months ago.
Man.
Yeah. Not even 2 months ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
When you think about it. Yeah.
But at the same time, you know what? I appreciate the effort they go to. Because even though you're not dangerous, the next guy might be. So I'm glad they're checking it out, you know?
Yeah, I don't believe that. I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, that's actually a new trend in the US now, is to steal a plane and fly it into a house. It happened twice in last week.
Get off.
Really?
Yeah, it's been on the radio. The FAA's in a big crisis now because one guy someone that worked for the airline stole a Cessna, like a little prop plane, and flew it into his house, tried to kill his family. The family got out. He died. Good. And someone else, worked for an airline, stole a plane. They're literally stealing planes now. Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know how they would do that.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking like airlines. We're talking like little planes. But still a fucking plane.
Do you remember the shoe bomber? Do you remember that?
No.
It's about 6-7 years ago. Guy had a bomb in his shoe.
What?
And it went off before the flight actually took off.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There was a guy that had the bomb in his underwear as well.
Then there was the underwear bomber.
What?
And it's like, man, I hate to say, look, we're going to put our tinfoil hats on for 2 seconds. Because it's like, man, they're picking every garment of clothing and going, okay, underwear, we got that covered. Shoe, we're going to cover that. So that's why, you got to take off your shoes now when you go through the scanner. But
what the heck?
What's weird is, why was he escorted onto the plane?
Yeah.
With no passport?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Security footage. The guy that was on the plane, he's rocks up at the security or customs, and there's a guy with him, a full business suit type dude, and he's explaining to the customs guy, no, he's fine, he's got to walk through, so they let him through onto the plane.
Oh my God.
And that's when the bomb went off. So it's man, there's some shady shit.
No, you're crazy, man, you're crazy.
Yeah, but God, then there's that woman in Melbourne or something. I'm flying to Melbourne, I think it was in Australia, and she punched the air hostess because she said she couldn't have more wine, another wine or something. And my mum emails that to me and my family FYI, this wasn't me. Thanks very much. If you're wondering.
Yeah. Are you a wine person?
Love a good wine.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that your go-to over anything else? Wine?
Yep, a red wine.
Red wine?
Yep.
That makes me have diarrhea.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Everything else is okay. Beer is okay as long as it's not too wheaty. Are you a beer person?
Nah.
Not at all?
Nah. I mean, I'll drink it if I'm really poor and I need to have.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
No.
Do you ask for a wine with your rider? Do you get riders? Do they have
not
riders?
Not always.
I don't even know they do riders.
I'm not that famous. I mean, I have a rider, and I think I send it to them every time, but most times they won't. And it's real simple. It's not ridiculous like Kevin Parker's, which is $500 worth of cocaine.
Football helmet filled with cream cheese?
No. Okay. For God's sake. You're just taking a piss.
That sounds pretty good.
Mine's just Red Bull, and I think I'd a vodka or tequila. I keep it simple. I try not to drink too much wine before a show because it will either make me sleepy or last time I got red wine drunk before a show by accident. I just hadn't eaten dinner. I forgot that, and then I drank a lot, and then no one came to the show at first, so I was all depressed and I kept drinking before I got on stage. A bunch of people rolled in. I was like, oh shit. And I was so drunk I couldn't loop on time. I was trying to loop and I was so off time that I was fuck it. And then I was just talking just shit all night into the microphone. I was like, you guys, I love you guys, oh my God, let's make it a boiler room, let's make this a boiler room set, everyone come on stage, come on. And everyone's hesitant, feeling sorry for me. They're oh God, come on, let's just go. She's embarrassing herself, just go on. Everyone comes on stage, stands awkwardly behind me. I play a song that's not even a dance song, so people awkwardly trying to sidestep to the song, and I'm okay, realizing this is a really bad decision. Ever since then I've stayed away from the red wine before a show.
I love how rock and roll you are.
I'm just really passionate.
We need more of that shit happening.
A forced boiler room. Yeah.
Exactly, no. But I like the attitude of just, I get so nervous before a show. Especially if you're putting it on or if you have a launch of some kind.
Yeah.
And by 8:30, I'm just a nervous wreck. Yeah. Even though, like, a lot of these weren't even, like, my personal band. Like, I was just playing in them.
Yeah.
I just feel the anxiety of, man, I hope people show up.
Yeah.
I just hope people show up.
Man.
10 minutes before a show, you'd find me down the street and around the corner.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Oh my god.
No, fuck it. Fuck, I'm not playing.
Smoke like 30 cigarettes. That's me before a show. Yeah.
Or like, do you ever just get put off by like one person you might know in the audience?
Yes.
And you're just like that one. I have like, I don't even know why it is, but it's like I could play to an audience of like 500 strangers and be cool. If it's like people I like know, or it might be like a guy I might be seeing or something. Like if I know he's there and I've clocked him, it ruins it for the rest of the night. I can't. I'm like, I won't look that direction. I'll just keep looking at this side of the room, but I will never look over there. Yeah. And all I'm thinking is about like what they are seeing, and it's terrible, that mindset to get into.
Yeah,
you're really getting into it, and then you see your mum and dad in the crowd. And yeah,
literally. Yeah. And my mum is just the kind that like she'll be the only one hearing. You'll just hear this like, woo, yeah. Woo! And it's like, that's my mum.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the worst is like when you scan the audience and the lighting hits perfectly, and you see the one guy that's just
having the worst time ever.
Just no expression. Like for people that couldn't see, if they're just listening, like just glaring at you, holding a beer, just with the perfect posture. And just sipping on it.
Oh,
I mean, I must admit, I've seen some pretty cool things happen when I've played. I've seen fights break out. I've seen sexual acts happen.
What?
That's what happens at metal shows, metal gigs.
Why?
Like what? Like what sexual shit?
I'm not going to disclose what happened, but front row when.
Oh, just two people just going at it.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Two guys, hopefully.
No, okay. I've been people swinging punches at you and stuff.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah, because I was listening to Henry Rollins. You know Henry Rollins? You don't know Henry Rollins?
Black Flag.
Henry
Rollins.
But basically, he
bad
came,
with names.
So
I probably know the song.
That's
Go on.
cool. No, but he was notorious for getting into fights on stage. And I miss those days.
With who? His band members?
No, just the crowd would punch him, and he would punch back.
What the heck?
He's also an actor, but
Henry Rollins.
Do you know that guy?
He's actually an actor. Well, not an actor, but he's been in TV shows.
He's so angry looking.
His Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, he's actually a sweetheart. He's really, really super cool, super talented.
No, I can't say I do, but I mean, probably. Can you sing me one of his songs?
No, because it would just be me screaming into the mic. But he came from a time when it was just wild, and even the metal shows that we went to. Remember that when hardcore? Do you know hardcore? That whole genre, when that had a really big resurgence back in the mid 2000s,
people doing flip kicks in the crowd and
people just moshing,
punching,
what the heck?
Starting lawnmowers.
Man, even like, I mean, I know it's not even the same thing. It's a completely different genre. But I went and saw King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah.
While ago.
Wicked band.
Yeah.
Amazing band.
And I got caught up in that mosh, and that is wild. Like, I'm sure it's probably nothing like a metal mosh, but it was still fucking wild. Like, I had like one chick, I kid you not, behind me. Like, she's pushing me into the mosh. I'm like, okay, fuck, all right. I'm in the mosh. I'm like, this is hectic. I've already lost my drink and everything. My sunglasses are gone. And then next minute, I kid you not, this girl behind me with a cigarette just puts it in my arm. Like, it's lit. And she's like putting it out on my skin, on my arm. And I was like, I just looked at her and she's like, ha ha ha. And then like headbutting back to the song. And I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at a gig at, it was actually Claremont, in the boiler room.
Oh, yeah?
It was a metal gig. I think it might have been Korn and Static X at the time.
Oh,
but in the crowd, and this shoe just came and hit me in the head. I'm like, fuck, it's a shoe. It was only like 20 seconds later where the rest of the person came with the shoe. Fucking.
Oh my God. Speaking of shoes, what are your opinions on Chuys?
I think that Okay, I'm going to sound old. I think it's fucking disgusting.
I don't fucking get it, man.
I don't get it.
Explain.
Shoeys?
Shoey is where you pour like a drink into your shoe.
You are old.
And then you drink it out of the shoe. Like, this is a shoey. This would be a shoey.
Yeah, and you do it on stage and you get like everyone from the audience like, yeah! And you scull your drink from... It's mostly a beer.
Is this something people do now?
Post Malone did it. Just like, because he knew it was an Australian... It's an Australian thing, isn't it?
It's an Australian thing.
Wow, if I poured anything into my shoes right now and drank it...
Probably get very sick.
Yes.
Get very sick.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I supported like a rock-ish band, not too sure why I was asked to, because I felt like my genre was very different, but they did at least 2 shoeys before like 5 minutes of the set had even gone by, and I was like, what the... And the audience love it. They're just like, yeah, and then like one guy will be like, shoey, and then like if the other audience is like shoey, then they kind of like start chanting it. They're like, shoey. It's like they don't even want you to play music, man. They just want you to drink shit out of your shoe.
I know. It's no. Okay, do what you want. I sound old. If I'm going to rip into it, I'm going to sound old.
I mean, at least you knew what it was.
I knew what it was, yeah. A lot of the,
I come from the day where you just pick up a bottle of whiskey and just fucking drink it.
Exactly.
None of this fancy, showy, shit.
Yeah, it's like, are we here to drink alcohol or are we here to play some fucking music?
Yeah.
I sound old, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like June Rats and Tied Line do it a lot.
Yeah.
And I get it, but it's not for me.
Nah.
It's kind of...
Don't ask me to do it, that's for sure.
Athlete's foot would taste really bad.
Goes on par with playing barefoot.
You don't like that?
Do you play barefoot at all?
No.
No?
I make the mistake of wearing ridiculous like boot heels or something that I can hardly dance in.
That's a pet peeve of mine, is seeing people barefoot on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, I can't do it because... First of all, my foot pedals are like metal.
Your toes would like split.
Plus, you get broken bottles. Like the stages can just be covered in shit, and you're just like, I don't really want to stand.
Well, Drew from Carnival plays barefoot.
Yeah, but they like roll out a red carpet for them when they get on stage.
Oh, true. Yeah, if you're playing somewhere in this,
they come straight from bloody carpet call and. Give a sweep down.
Okay. Carpet Call, they still in business? Jesus.
Carpet Call, the experts in the tree. Oh, I'm fucking old.
And when I was little, I used to think it was the experts in the tree. Like he's in a tree.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure why I thought that.
Why would the expert be in the tree?
It was the Aussie accent, man.
Yeah,
Trade.
Yeah. Who's that other guy? Frank Walker? Frank Walker, National Tiles. You haven't heard that?
Oh, I remember,
O'Brien. Yes, that one. Do you remember the City Subaru ad?
Oh my god! And that girl thought she fucking made it. Are you talking about the acoustic guitar? Man, no, it was cool, but like
City Subaru, checking out all the Subaru. Remember that one?
Imagine that call she got. Man, do you want to be on an ad that will be showing all around like Australia? No. Yes.
There's actually an ad. I don't know. I haven't heard it recently, but it used to be played, and I have no idea what it was for. It could be like insurance or something. But the person that did the voice, and I still don't know if they were taking the piss or not. But it was just like one of those things where every sentence ends with fucking yeah. What? And you can do the insurance and get the like when people end sentences just but it was a legit advert for something, and they just finished.
I'm following.
I can't come up with the top of my head of what they were saying.
Oh,
but it just would end everything would end like that. And I listened to it. I'm like, is this guy? It's like this is a serious ad, or are they just pulling off the pit?
Oh my god,
that sounds fucking stupid.
Oh my gosh! But speaking of ads and people who make them, the song, the Jeep ad, who is that by again?
Oh, what do you mean? Jeep ad?
The Jeep ad. It's got a song in it.
You're talking about Fleetwood Mac's cover of "Go Your Own Way." No, that's Isuzu.
Right.
You can go your own. Yeah, they did a cover of Fleetwood Mac.
God.
Kingswood did a cover of Fleetwood Mac's "Go Your Own Way." That's Isuzu.
Jeep. Not too sure.
Hang on, I'm getting it up right this second.
Jeep.
Oh god.
This will be worth it. This is totally worth
it. It won't be. Oh shit.
Let's go.
Where is this? Oh God, come on, Phoebe.
The G-pad.
Yeah, and
is it an acoustic guitar?
Yeah, and then it's got like electronic music going on as well.
Oh, I think I know the one.
Don't hold back the Potbellies.
Yes, the Potbellies. Do you know about them?
No.
Do you know?
No.
Oh well, then let's don't.
Do you want to play a bit?
Don't hold back.
Oh,
is there anybody out there?
Ah, yes.
You know it.
Yeah, I know this song.
Okay.
This is a pretty good track, actually. Isn't there another version where they take the vocals out and keep the guitar?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Yeah.
So I played a show with the Potbellies.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and
Did they play that song?
yeah.
Do they roll out like a Jeep on stage?
Man, nah. Fuck, I wish. I wish. The lead singer was just yeah. I don't even actually know what I can say now because I don't know where this will go, but it doesn't matter. I'll just...
No one's going to listen to this.
Do you reckon
you never know.
Do you reckon everyone in the Potbellies drives a Jeep?
Surely they got one for free.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Like, how much money would that make? Surely a lot. I don't know.
That's a lot of... That's quite a lot of money. What was it? Like, you just...
He was
annoyed
the
you?
worst. He was the worst. I think he was, like, definitely on cocaine the whole show and then, like, backstage acted like he owned the place, but then got on stage and he's, like, doing his thing. Like, he had 2 DJs. Who needs 2 of them? Like, really? 2 DJs.
Back up in case one of them crashes. So.
Yeah, true. And he was, like, doing his crazy, like, thing and then had these, like, asked the dancers from, like, Connections nightclub to come on stage with him, but then he kept, like, bossing, like, move, get away, get out of the way. Like, they're in his way. Then he's, like, singing this song and he's, like, to this chick in the audience, like, oi, I fucking love you. And it just got really ugly, like, really quickly. Like, it was, like, near the end of the night, everyone's quite drunk, probably him as well, and, like, everyone's kind of like, oh. And because he then jumps down to the audience, he, like, grabs her face, he starts, like, joggling her, and he's like, I love you. And she's, like, not into it. She's like, the fuck, man? Like, go off. And, like, she's, like, pushing him off, and then he's just, like, swaggering, like, he owns it, gets back on stage, and then, like, I think he's, like, pretending to play the guitar with the DJs going on. And I was like, this guy...